What a way to start the day next to the ocean. I was trying to put my finger on what I love about being next to the ocean. You see, I don't really care for swimming all that much, but I love being next to the ocean or on the ocean, everything about it. And there is that general sense of space and time any time I come here. And what I mean by that is there doesn't seem to be any time. It just seems to be endless. You know, there's no hour by hour. It's just the waves coming and going. They're always there. That's what helps me feel present. Anyway, enough philosophy for this time in the morning. I'm just enjoying this. I love it here. Yeah, I'm gonna start walking up the coast a bit more now today. Don't know how far I'm gonna go. Haven't really decided what direction either. I just know it's gonna be north, kind of north, but all is good. Head good, body good, feet good, mind good, all good. Let's go. And Donegal's got to be one of the quietest places I've ever been in Ireland. I'm sure most of you know about these Revolution Laundry. They're dotted around the country, mostly at gas stations. Costs four and two for me, €6, and 2 or 1.5 hours to wash and dry. So handy. I stayed in the Bluestack Centre last night, which is halfway along the Bluestack Way, and it was an absolutely fantastic community centre where the upstairs is converted into a hostel with excellent beds, excellent kitchen, excellent shower, and I was the only person staying there, so it felt like my own private little hotel. It saved me too, because I was so late leaving Donegal after doing my laundry that I had no idea where I was going to stay. So I took out my phone, looked at the Hiker app, which has the Bluestack Way on it, and that directed me to the hostel. So only for the app I wouldn't have known about it, but it was a great place to stay. I highly recommend it. It's pretty steep from the off. Whoop. Oh. Huh. Hello my friends, it's day 51 of walking around Ireland. I'm in County Donegal. I'm in the Bluestack Mountains. It's an absolutely stunning day. It's the best day I've had in probably 6 weeks, maybe more, 7 weeks. And you can see here the mountains around me have this kind of misty look off them from the sun. It's very, very peaceful here too because it's so quiet, you know. I'm having a great morning. It's a bit of a climb so far, but it's good to get something like this under your belt early in the day. There's a good feeling of accomplishment and progress when you get something like this done early. So yeah, all is good. I'm had a great night's sleep last night. I'm headed up towards, I thought I was going to head towards the Midlands, but I reckon I'll probably end up in Glenties today because this is a bit slower than expected. Head good, feet good, body good, mind good, all good. Let's go. When you're climbing up a mountainside like this, the only game you should really play is the game of not complaining. Once you start nagging yourself or playing mind games or complaining to yourself, allowing that voice to take over, and that voice is telling you, oh, this is difficult. As soon as you allow that to happen, you're done. It's just going to be so much harder after that. So the only game I play is don't complain. You know, just take it for what it is. Enjoy it if you can. It's good exercise. Listen to how quiet it is here. I mean, I do all this stuff because it's fun. You know, taking an adventure, it's fun. It's a lot of fun. But if you wanted another reason to do something like this, that's it. To be away from the noise, all the quiet. It's amazing what even an hour or two of this can do for your brain, for your attitude, for your outlook. About 6 years ago, I walked out of my job, and I don't recommend anyone ever does this, anyone quits their job or walks out in it, but I walked out of my job and I stood looking over the River Liffey for, it was about an hour, and I was miserably depressed and just so physically and mentally exhausted, and I'd felt that way for years. See, my parents passed away in 2006 and 2008, and I used that as an excuse for years to just make all the wrong choices in life, to be very self-destructive, to drink excessively alcohol. So it got to this point where I was just broken, fed up, and I was always giving myself a hard time too. But when I went outside the job that morning, looking over the river, a different voice came into my head, and that voice said, "What's wrong with you? Like, it's your fault that you're here. You made all those decisions. And what are you going to do about it?" I left my job, I went home, and a week later I was in Africa looking for a second-hand bicycle. I spent 1 year riding a bicycle through Africa. And the reason I did all that was because I was miserable, of course, but I knew it was time to do something different. I had no success with being self-destructive or making all those bad decisions. I had no success trying to live without my parents, and I made a decision in that moment. It was time to go and live for my parents and to go out and chase down the life that I really wanted instead of just maintaining a life that was falling apart. And that's why I kept doing them then. I fell in love with being outdoors and camping and taking these type of trips. So I do it for self-actual reasons nowadays, because I want to grow rather than to fix my problems. But that's why I took this path. That's why I am now an adventurer, is because I was in such a dark place. I knew I had to go and make a change, and that just brought me here. I don't necessarily think I was born to do this, to be an adventurer or to make videos, but I can say with certainty that I was not born to sit behind a desk all day. I was not born to sit inside all days, and I was not born to live a life that had no real risk or meaning or purpose. I think of that sometimes. I think of that every Monday morning, because that was a Monday, the day I quit. And then sometimes when I sit in a place like this, I ponder how I got here. And I remember it didn't just take a few hours, it took years.